Hi everyone, happy Friday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic week so far with this cooler summer weather. I am not a fan, but I know that lots of people enjoy the cooler weather, so I hope you've been enjoying that. I just love the heat. I just want it to get hot out again. So if it does, you can blame me because I prayed for that. I am still in Genesis. I'm making my way through the story of Jacob and Esau, and I'm almost at the story of Joseph, so I'm sure there'll be some great devotionals coming up about that because there's just so much to learn from his story. But I wanted to talk to you guys today from chapter 32 from Genesis. And so just to give you some context, because I'm going to start reading kind of halfway through the chapter. So this is when Jacob is returning to visit his brother Esau, or just to come back to the land that he grew up in. And he has sent some messengers out to Esau, and they've returned to him, and they've told Jacob that Esau is standing waiting for him, and he has like 400 men with him. And so things are very uncertain for Jacob. He doesn't know what is about to happen or how his brother is feeling, because the last time he saw him, he had just stolen his birthright and the firstborn blessing. So if I was him, I would imagine that my sibling would be very upset with me still. So there's a lot of uncertainty. And so Jacob just cries out to God and prays to him here. So I'm going to read that, and I'm going to start at verse 9. And again, this is chapter 32. And Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham and God of my father Isaac, O Lord, who said to me, return to your country and to your kindred, that I may do you good. I am not worthy of the least of all the deeds of steadfast love and all the faithfulness that you have shown to your servant. For with only my staff I crossed this Jordan, and now I have become two camps. Please deliver me from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him, that he may come and attack me and the mother with the children. But you said, I will surely do you good and make your offspring as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. Okay, so this is Jacob's cry out to God as he's about to meet his brother Esau, and things are uncertain, and their relationship is rocky and messy and not good. And I just loved Jacob's honesty and that he just cried out to God in this time. But I love that he came humbly, because I think we look at Jacob and I kind of think of him as like a little bit cocky and arrogant, and like he has all this stuff, and he just went in and stole his brother's birthright and all of this. And so he has kind of that attitude towards him, but he comes before God and he's like, look, like, I don't deserve any of this, which is just a cool realization that he's aware that everything he has is from God. It's nothing that he's done. God has blessed him, even though he's undeserving of it. And I think I often look at Jacob and think that I'm better than him because, you know, I would never cheat my sister out of the birthright or out of a blessing, and that everything he has was because he cheated his way into getting it. But the reality is he comes humbly before God and just asks for his help and recognizes that everything he has is from God, and that the last time he was crossing this area that he was in, he left with nothing but a staff. Like, he had nothing, and now God has blessed him with so much because he has continued to follow him. And so that's first off the thing that I love, that he comes humbly towards God, and that also he's just honest, and he's like, hey, I'm like super afraid that my brother is going to kill me and my family, which would be terrifying, like bringing your family back to an unknown area for them and just full of uncertainty and not knowing what's going to happen, and he can't guarantee their safety. And so he's like kind of going out on a limb here, but he recognizes that even though he's fearful and doesn't know how Esau is going to react, he recognizes that God told him to go back. And God told him to go back so that he could do good for him. So even though he's afraid and everything seems like it's going to be not good, like going back to meet your brother who you've cheated out of everything, like everything would seem so scary and uncertain, and yet he knows that God promised him that if he went back, it was for his good. And so in the end, he says, like, you know, I'm afraid, I'm scared of this, but you, God, said to me, I will surely do you good. So even though he's afraid, he trusts in the promise that God made to him, and he trusts in the covenant that God made to him, and that even though this seems like not a good path to go down and a scary one, that he knows that God has said that it is going to be good, and so that he trusts that God knows what he's doing and he is going to bless him. And that's exactly what happened. Like Esau runs to him, chapter 33, it says, but Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. And so like their relationship was restored, and we don't know exactly what happened to Esau, how he got to that point, but obviously God worked in his heart. And so just think, if Jacob had have run in the opposite direction and not gone back home, he probably would have lived his entire life not knowing where he stood with his brother, or if they would ever be reconciled, or if that relationship would be restored. And so God continues to bless Jacob even though he's undeserving of it. And it just reminds me that I am no better than Jacob. I am the same as him. We are on the same level. We have both sinned and done wrong before God. And so every blessing that I have in my life is not from me, and it's not because I deserve it. It's because God blessed me even when I did wrong things, even when I went against his will, or even when I just wasn't obedient to him in the same way that Jacob wasn't when he cheated Esau out of so much. And it just blows my mind that, God doesn't give us what we deserve, which is good because we don't deserve good things. We deserve death and hell, and yet he continues to bless us not only with eternal life and salvation, but then blessings upon blessings added on to that as well. So just that reminder to me that Jacob and me are the same. We may not have done the same things or struggled with the same things, but we are same in God's eyes. And so I can't look at my life and say, well, everything I have I deserve because I've lived this great life. It's like, no, we're in the same boat as Jacob, and yet God blesses us and he blessed him. And then reminding myself also that Jacob did what was scary and went forward with what God called him to do because God said it was going to be good. God said he had a good plan for him and wanted to do good for him as well. So that is my devotional for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you were challenged in that and encouraged as well in God's grace for us that just abounds. So that's what I have for today. Thanks for joining again. I hope to see you guys in person at church on Sunday. And if not, I will see you from a distance online. And have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you soon. Bye.